Hello friends, welcome to Bookmas Day 2 and welcome to another Mythical Mail Monday. So with those two things being combined, today's video is our October and November haul. These are all the books I've hauled since probably mid-September, maybe late September until November here. So I'm excited to share them with you. I have a few unboxings I still need to do, so I don't have all of the recent Fairy Loot or Illumicrate books in this haul, but as always I will begin with those. So if you don't want spoilers for September and October books, skip to this time. Kicking off, I'm going to start with our Fairy Loot adult book. I don't remember which month this is from, but it was sometime between September through November. Our Fairy Loot adult was Sorcery and Small Magics. This looks like a cozy fantasy. I don't know much about it. It just arrived in my Fairy Loot, but it does have really beautiful end pages and really beautiful under the cover dust jacket. So I'm looking forward to reading it. It kind of gives me the same vibes as Legends and Lattes or A House on the Cerulean Sea. I think that's in that same vein, so that like cozy adult fantasy. Moving on to Fairy Loot YA, I have The Girl with No Reflection by Keshi Chow. This, I believe, is an Asian mythology, and we've got some beautiful end pages again. Fairy Loot has truly been killing the end pages game. I've loved having every edition have unique end pages. I just think they're stunning, and I love character art, so I've been really enjoying those. We also have The Dagger and the Flame by Catherine Doyle. I believe I've read another book by this author. I can't place what it is in this exact moment, but our synopsis mini blurb here is: in a deadly game of revenge, the most dangerous mistake of all is falling in love. So I love a good game trial competition trope, so I'm hoping it has that element. And then we also have, again, beautiful end pages on this one as well, and this was again Fairy Loot YA. Moving on to my two Fairy Loot Romantasy, that is their newest, I believe, yeah, newest subscription, and it is fantasy, romance fantasy combined, specifically very heavy on like the romance aspect of the fantasy. So books such as it's back over here somewhere, I cannot remember what it's called, but it's got Poppy and the bodyguards in it. Oh my gosh, what is it called? I can't remember at this moment. I will put it on the screen here once I remember. But that vein of like romance fantasy mixed. The two we have for the past few months are The Coven by Harper L. Woods, and here is the end pages for, oh, we got our fan art card. Here is the actual end pages for those. In the back here says, for those who love them villainous. So it's giving enemies to lovers, villain to lover trope. Love that as well. And then finally we have The Half King by Melissa Landers. I was so excited for this one. I actually had already pre-ordered it. So I have the first edition, special edition sprayed edge copy, as well as the Fairy Loot copy here. A kingdom of secrets, a palace of lies, and a curse that could shatter her world. So here is the Fairy Loot edition. Beautiful sprayed edges, and again, end pages to love. Oh, and we have a different blurb here. Every night at sunset he turned to shadow. Every dawn made him whole again. Eventually he would lose his daylight hours as well, until he vanished forever. Sounds so good. I'm a sucker for a good blurb. I tend to not read like full synopsis because I love to go into books without tons of knowledge. I want to create my own expectations as I read, as opposed to having like that expectation set ahead of time. But if I hear like a good pitch or blurb, I'm like, I'm all in. Like Bonesmith by Nikki Palfretto, the pitch was Gideon the Ninth meets Game of Thrones. Sold. Loved it. Alright, we have moved past the spoilers part. So the next book I have for you is the Fairy Loot Special Edition of Ghostsmith. This is the sequel to Bonesmith by Nikki Palprato, and it's not a spoiler because everyone knew it was coming. And this is so stunning. I love it so much. Here are the sprayed edges. We've got Ren on the side. This is the book that I just did the readathon for, so of course I love it. We got Ren and Julian here on the end pages, and then I believe the back is yes, a hawk and the Corpse Queen. So absolutely stunning work. I love Ghostsmith. I love this series, so I'm so happy to own this edition alongside, you can't see it in frame here, it's like on this next shelf up alongside the many other editions I own of Nikki Palprato's work. These were not special edition from any sort of book box. They were just special edition in their first print run, but I did purchase them after Fourth Wing's explosion of like popularity, I guess you could say. I didn't want to miss out on the chance of missing any others. I was very lucky to have pre-ordered Fourth Wing, so I did get the first edition run with like the sprayed edges, but I'm intending to not miss out on any others as well this year, so I did order any that looked slightly appealing with the sprayed edges. So I did get The Half King by Melissa Landers with these beautiful sprayed edges. I got A Song to Drown Rivers with these sprayed edges. And I got Bloodguard by CC Robson with these sprayed edges. So I was on it this year. And while we're on pre-orders, I will go ahead and share the rest of the pre-orders I got. First up is Prince of Glass and Midnight by Lindsay Miller. This is a new series by Disney Hyperion following specifically the princes. So far we have Prince Philip from Sleeping Beauty, Prince Charming from Cinderella, and Prince Eric from The Little Mermaid. I'm very excited to see where we go next with these, but I love hearing from different perspectives, so I'm excited to read these. And then we have The Last Hope School for Magical Delinquents, Nikki's middle grade. I'm so excited to pick this one up. I intend to do it very, very soon and do a reading vlog on it, so stay tuned for that. Then we have Spectacular by Stephanie Garber. I also intend to do a reading vlog of this one because it is the holiday novella of the Caraval world, and I just reread Caraval in anticipation of this. This is the Barnes & Noble exclusive, so it comes with some special content, so we'll see what that is. But I even love the like Christmassy colors of the foil on the cover here, and then we've got like snowflakes and stuff. So I definitely intend to do a reading vlog of this for the Bookmas series. Next up we have Throne of Secrets, the third book in the, I believe it's a companion series from Kingdom of the Wicked. I could be 100% wrong, but I am very intrigued because I love Carrie Maniscalco, so I'm excited to read this book as well. Back to Disney Hyperion and their series. We also have a series of legends, like Lost Legends. The first book I saw of this series was Flynn Rider, so I believe it's like Eugene Fitzherbert's, when he was a kid he was told the tales of Flynn Rider, so I think it's somewhat following that. I could be wrong, but that's what I anticipated. Then we have Zero to Hero, which is Hercules, which is my favorite Disney movie, so I'm excited to get into this one. It reminds me of the TV show they used to have of Hercules when he was a younger boy, so I'm very excited to get back into his young adult childhood years. And then there's also one of Aladdin, and I think it's called Diamond in the Rough, so those are really cute as well. I think the next one coming out is Peter Pan, if I remember correctly. So they're more, I mean technically Aladdin is a prince, but I think these are following more so the princes who aren't necessarily princes in their own right. Like Aladdin becomes a prince through marrying Jasmine. Hercules is more of a half god. Peter Pan is obviously not a prince, and Flynn Rider also not his own prince. So I think the Prince series is specifically princes who were princes. So Prince Charming was already a prince, Prince Eric was already a prince, Prince Philip was already, so kind of the variation there. This is more the heroes, and then the other series is more of the princes, if that makes sense. And then we have, so excited for this one. I'm excited for everything, let's be honest. But this is The Shadows Rule All by Abigail Owen. This is the third book in the Liar's Crown series. I love, love, love The Liar's Crown. I need to reread it. And I'm very excited to own the third book now. Then I also got The Whispering Night by Susan Dennard. This is the same author who wrote the Witchland series, which I'm currently in the middle of. I've read Truth Witch, Wind Witch, Sight Witch, and I'm currently on Blood Witch. So I need to pick that series back up. I kind of just like halted. So this is the same author. I love their work, so I'm excited to read this one as well. And then we have Lore Olympus, Volume 7. I'm slowly collecting the series, and once I own them all, I'm just going to binge the whole series here. I've been collecting the Barnes & Noble exclusive edition hardbacks, so they look so nice on my shelves. Excited to add this one to the bunch. And probably the book I am most excited about is the Hunger Games Illustrated Edition. There was like a series of these for Harry Potter, but I think they just kind of fell off the wagon. Both Mina Lima, I think, parted ways with J.K. Rowling, as well as the original illustrator. I think that illustrator just couldn't like physically draw it anymore. I believe it's being passed on to someone else, but I'm not 100% sure. But when I saw that they were doing the Hunger Games, guys, I was so excited. It's not as illustrated as the Harry Potter ones, but it does have large print and it does have illustrations throughout. So here we have the Reaping. So cool. I love a good fan art, character art, so any sort of illustrated edition of my favorite books, absolutely adore it. Moving on to books I just kind of purchased throughout the last 2 months. There's only 4 that I went out of my way to purchase. First, this was at the Dollar Tree, and I've been reading Bridgerton, so I was like, oh, I'll pick this up. It's Lady Whistledown's Official Guide to the Wit and Wisdom of Bridgerton. All of these just happened to be ones I grabbed. This has been on my wish list. It's another book that I read and enjoyed and wanted to add to my shelf. And like I said, I don't tend to reread contemporaries often, so when I have one that I really enjoy, I like to own it to keep. Then I saw this at Ollie's, which is kind of a wholesale bargain outlet, and it's next in the Villain series, similar. It's another Disney Hyperion series, but this is following specifically the Valens. And this one is by Serena Valentino, and specifically in this series, you have to read it in order to get the full enjoyment. But I love this series. I also really love the cover. So the front is like the typical portrayal of the villains that you see, and then the back is like their alter ego, for lack of a better term. So we've got, on the front we have Lady Tremaine, and then kind of a scarier version. But for example, Maleficent is on the front and then the dragon's on the back, or the Evil Queen is on the front and then the Old Hag is on the back, or the Beast is on the front and Prince Adam's on the back. I know he's not technically a villain, but oh wait, I have it right here. So we've got the Beast, and this is the hardcover, so it's actually on the book itself. And then the final book I picked up, this was 75 cents at Walmart, so I was very excited. It was in the clearance section, and it's just an edition of Little Women. I love Little Women. It's got illustrations. I collect editions, and this just looked like a good one to be able to actually pick up and read, because most of my copies are like really nice special edition copies. So I kind of just wanted one to be able to read, and this feels like the perfect like floppiness, and it was 75 cents, so I don't have to worry about ruining it or anything. So very happy about that. Moving on to books I was gifted. I'm gonna do a series on this, but my friend and I have been doing a book swap throughout 2024. So a few of these are from our book swap. First we have Slewfoot by Brom. My parents picked up when they went to the store, they went to like a dollar bookstore and they picked up Just Listen by Sarah Dessen. I've been collecting books that I read in my young adulthood, just as like mementos of that time, not necessarily to reread or anything, although I might reread some Sarah Dessen. It was like my comfort author back in the day. So we have Sarah Dessen, Just Listen. I have heard such good things about N.K. Jemisin. I've been meaning to get to their work. So when my parents showed me a picture of the shelf and I saw this one on it, I was like, grab that. Back to that villain series. This came in a book swap for my hometown. This is the Odd Sisters. So this is the Poison Apple. And then on the hardcover, we've got the Rotten Core. This also came in a book swap. This was Twisted Wonderland, a manga of, like, I believe it's Wonderland, like Alice in Wonderland, but I've seen that there's an anime out for this. I kind of want to watch it, and here is the manga. This is just a Disney anime. Also in a swap, pretty much all of these came in a swap, was Assistant to the Villain. This was one that I put on my wish list recently. I just read it. I loved this book so much, you guys. I did not anticipate liking it nearly as much as I did, and this might be one of my favorite books of 2024 in all honesty, so I'm very excited to own it now. And then Night of the Witch also came in a swap. This was for, at work we did boot baskets for each other, and my boot basket partner got me this book. Really excited to try this one out. A witch should never fall for her hunter. And last but not least, I got 3 Dr. Seuss books because I was in Seussical, which follows the story of Horton from Horton Hears a Who. So this is essentially Act 1. This is essentially Act 2. And then I also got Yertle the Turtle because I was Gertrude McFuzz, the one feather tail bird. There she is, Miss Gertrude McFuzz in all of her glory. Look at her. But this one's fun in particular because I had the cast sign it, which was so cute because most of the cast was children. So that is my recent haul for kind of September through November. I hope you guys enjoyed. Tomorrow is my winter/Christmas TBR for the month of December. So stay tuned for Bookmas Day 3, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye, friends.